Good afternoon and welcome back to Baz Does Euro Football. Yes, Scotland are out, Germany are through, Switzerland finished second, and Hungary finished third. From a Scotland point of view, it's absolutely devastating. Scotland fans all over the world and all over Scotland and in Germany have been left majorly disappointed. We'll talk about the game from last night first of all, before we talk about today's games. Today's games, which see a fantastic Spain, who have to be one of the favourites. But last night, Scotland, all they had to do was win. All they had to do was win, and it leaves Stevie Clarke in a position where he does have 2 years left on his contract. Who would be your choice? The question should be, first of all, Stevie Clarke has taken Scotland, and fair play to him. He has taken Scotland to Euro 2020 and Euro 2024. For the first time in 20 years have we been at major competitions. France 98 was the last one. It's been a long time coming that Scotland were, and he was rewarded with last year with an extension to his contract, which will take him up to 2026 in the World Cup campaign. Should he be the man to take us forward? Is he trusted by the Scottish fans as a nation? You don't want to see anybody lose their job, but let's face it, his team had no shots on target. They were very defensive, and they didn't really have a go until about 10 minutes to go. Everyone knew that it was a must-win game. For Scotland to overturn the deficit and try and finish second, and everyone knew that it was going to take around about 6 goals. So Scotland would have had to win by 3 goals, and Germany would have had to win by 3 goals also. It got to the stage last night where Germany were actually winning. Well, they thought they were winning, but then the goal was ruled offside. And then Switzerland did the unthinkable and scored a goal against Germany, and that lasted until the 92nd minute when Germany scored an equaliser. Thankfully for Germany, they went through, and we'll talk about them in just a second. But sadly for Scotland, it meant that they would finish bottom of the group once again. A lot of fans are really angry that the manager didn't show the same passion as what the fans did. Over 300,000, they're suggesting, made the first game for Scotland against Germany, and in Germany at the time, and I reckon there were still at least 150,000 in Germany last night. The German police, the German nation, has took to the Scottish fans for their love of the game and the love of a good party and a drink. It's been suggested that they have left many parts of Germany dry of alcohol, dry of beer. They did leave one town dry of beer, and they turned to drinking vodka, as only a Scotsman can do. Next up, who would be your manager for Scotland? And should is the question. Should Scotland relieve him of his duties? He does have 2 years left on his contract, and you know the way it is. Scotland won't. They'll keep their words with that contract. They did get him to the Euros. They'll say that that's the positive. Can he take them to a World Cup? When you see that the teams that we're going to be playing in the next couple of games for Scotland, I really fear for the worst. And people will say, look, we beat Spain, the all-conquering Spain. But Spain were going through a massive transition at the time, getting rid of all the rear guard, all of the older experienced players, and bringing in the new generation of players. Spain currently have a 16-year-old player at the Euro 2024, and the youngest player ever to play at the Euros. So with all the news for Scotland all done and dusted at the end of the day, people will say, well, look at England. It's anyone but England from a Scottish perspective. But when you look at the stats, Scotland have not recorded a win in quite a while. Upcoming fixtures, it makes it look even worse. From a Scotland perspective, we play at home to Holland in Poland in September. We then play away to Portugal. That's going to be a rout, isn't it? We play away to Portugal and then Croatia. Croatia, who are currently bottom of their group, and they play today. Yes, they play today against the all-conquering, well, not really all-conquering, they do play Italy. They aim to do the Italian job. They aim to do an Italian job on Italy. Italy are currently second in the group, with the games today taking place at 9 p.m. Spain top the group. Spain will be looking to become favourites for the competition, surely. At the beginning of the competition, everyone thought that England were, from an English perspective, the English media all thought that it was coming home and England were going to be ripping this contest up. But let's face it, the English team they haven't been that great, have they? But Spain can finish on maximum points. I suggest that they will be the team that finishes. They'll be the first team to finish on maximum points. Germany didn't do it last night. They got that draw, which left them on 7. So I think Spain are going to go out against Albania today, and it's an easy game for Spain. Whilst in the group of, well, could you call it a group of death between Italy and Croatia today? Italy are currently on 3 points after 2 games, and Croatia are on 1 point. But if Croatia win the game, Croatia finish second, and that would push Italy into third position. Now, Italy is a team that plays really defensive football, and they do like to go down now and again, but they have a guy who plays in Spain. They do. They have a fantastic player that's coming towards the end of his career, and it seems like he's been coming towards the end of his career for a long time. Can Luca be the man to overturn Spain? Can he do an Italian job for Croatia and put Spain into third and put Croatia through? That will be one of the exciting, if not the most exciting game of the evening. I think on paper, everyone expects Albania to get beat by Spain. Spain expects them to beat them quite easily, I would have thought. And it's just going to be a case of how many goals can they put past Albania to make it look convincing enough for the Spanish public. Now, we have spoken about Scotland and we've spoken about the Scotland manager. If Stevie Clarke has to be relieved of his duties, who would you have as Scotland manager? I never like to see a manager getting taken out a job, but there is someone that was in commentary last night, and that was Davy Moyes. Now, Davy Moyes is the manager that has been there and done it. He done it at Everton for quite a few years, and he was fantastic at bringing youth through at Everton. I think he was given the Manchester United job a little bit too early. It was a difficult time to probably take on the Manchester United job, and if you look at Manchester United over the last few years, they haven't done too grand anyway. But David Moyes then went to West Ham, and he done okay with West Ham when it comes to European football. And we're talking about in a European football context. Now, you're going to say Stevie Clarke. Yes, Stevie Clarke, the man who was at Kilmarnock, West Brom, and some other teams. I mean, it doesn't really set the heather on fire from a Scottish perspective. But would the nation take Davy Moyes? And there's another manager that's currently at Kilmarnock, since the current Scotland manager came from Kilmarnock. Could it be the case that Derek McInnes is thrown in for Scotland manager? Would you accept Derek McInnes? He done okay with Aberdeen. He had Aberdeen in European football quite consistently. He does like to play a bit more attacking football. So for me, that's your two front runners. It has to be the two front runners when it comes to Scotland. If Scotland decide, now I'm not saying that they will. I'm not saying that the manager will hand in his resignation, because he's not that type of guy. He will see out the job that he was set to do. And last year, he was given an extra 2 years on his contract. So tell me what you think, Scotland fans. Do you think that it is the right time to replace Stevie Clarke? He has taken Scotland to 2 European championships for the first time in 20 years. Is that enough to give him enough time to look at a World Cup campaign? Does he deserve it? People will say, yes, he deserves it, but the type of football that he plays is quite defensive, and it's probably about Kilmarnock standard, to be fair, in the Scottish Premiership. Is it what Scotland really need? Is that type of defensive football? I thought Scotland had one of the best opportunities that they've ever had in this group to progress, and they didn't. And it all came down to the manager and the style of football. So tell me what you think in the comment section. Tell me what you think about the games this evening. Who are you rooting for this evening? Is it going to be Italy or will it be Spain? Will Spain top the group on a maximum number of points? And can Luca and his Croatia team upset the Italians? For me, that would be absolutely fantastic if Croatia was to finish second in the group. And it would be a fantastic way for Luca to sort of head out in the twilight of his career. Anyway, make sure you subscribe to the channel and join us for more Euro 2024 news until the end of the tournament and beyond.